Okay, before we begin this video, I'd like to tell you that there's a bit of disclaimer. Now, the disclaimer is that this camera crane was built by my own parts. I tested it myself, and it works perfect and it's functioning. Now, not every camera crane is going to perform the same as mine is going to be. Some of them are going to have some wobbliness. Some of them might not be able to support full weight. It all depends how you build it and what supplies you use. Now, the supplies I'm going to give you here are the ones that I use, but if you go over beyond and use better parts, or you lower down, the better parts you use, or the same parts you use, are better chances for you getting the same results as mine. Now, if any injuries are caused by this camera crane after you built it, basing off of my video, because not everyone's going to have the same exact build, I am not responsible for it. Legacy Productions is not responsible for it, and none of my members are responsible for it. This camera crane was only intentional use is what it was for video production and for cinematic shots. It's not meant for anything else. It's not meant for you to raise it up and spill water on people. That's not what it was meant for. It was meant for a camera, for glide shots, and for steady shots. That was all it was meant for, and not for anything else. And if you use this camera crane improperly, recklessly, or you injure someone in the crowd while using this thing hovering over them, we are not responsible. So that's all, and let's begin this video. Okay guys, how's it going today? And sorry about that disclaimer, but it's the best thing to do to keep our channel protected from anyone out there injuring themselves while making this thing or using improper tools, which is also part of the disclaimer. Use the proper tools and use the proper supplies needed to make this thing. So that's also added in there. So don't skip my introduction either. If you skipped that disclaimer, I'm not responsible and it's your fault. So make sure to go back, and if you skipped to that main part where I'm at now talking to you guys and you skipped to this point, go back and check the disclaimer before we begin this video, and let's get to it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, how did this thing come about? Now, well, we were doing our filming trailer for our 100th video, which is still not being released yet. If you guys noticed the video that was done here in the studio, which is my garage. I built this on the day we were recording. Now, I don't know what happened. A light bulb kicked in. Whatever happened, I went to grab two crutches. Should go grab some right now. I went to go grab two ordinary crutches, right? These right here. And so what I did, link them together. And you know what you get? You get a camera crane, right? Well, continue on from that. Another thing that I also built was a homemade boom pole. PVC with a piece of metal in it. Was for extend out for longer range, but I don't need it for that. On here was an iPhone 4 mount, the cable clamp to clamp the cable, and an adapter where I rented iPhone to convert so the shotgun mic was able to get its audio into the iPhone 4. iPhone 5 is better, it has stereo and it doesn't do mono, but the shotgun mic would go here. But I'm going out of focus, you see my focal point, and the shotgun mic would go at the end here, secure down, and it would work. But hit the ceiling. I also built something really nice. Now, what I built here is a camera crane. You guys can't see it yet because I haven't done all the shots, but what I told you, I assembled it. Let me flip it. I assembled it. I tipped it. You can tip it on its side right now. I used two secure clamps here. I added a tripod, a heavy duty tripod. It's not the best of its quality. And a very heavy weight on the back that's secured, and it won't fall, and it won't make the camera swing down and hit someone or break. And that's the last thing I want in production. And on here, there is a cable that runs to the camera that sends it a video feed instead of the through HDMI. And that's what makes this camera can run. And on the end, I have a tripod head. So now let me go into a time lapse now and start assembling this thing for you guys. And I'll have a no timer. I feel like Alright, I'm back, and after bouncing and making it look ridiculous, because due to that camera not having a lens, I wasn't able to get the proper weight on it. Oh, we got a shadow going there. And there it is. On there I have this Sony Action Cam. It's on there right now. Just make it start recording. There you go, it's booting up now. There it is, recording. It's at 2 bars, so see how much we get. And there's the D80 shameless and shame on there, and there's the tripod head, ridiculously looking, and wires dangling. So I completely let it loose. It's completely loose right now, and that really threw off the balance. I didn't figure that out till now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how this thing actually looks when it's turning. It's a little noise. Bear with me, I'm on the shoulder right here. Sorry for the background noise. I have youngsters as neighbors. There it is. Slowly go down. And it balances itself out, because that's how you're properly supposed to do it. Slowly move around like that. There it is again, moving. I know it may look ghetto, but if you build this right and you make it look nice, it's not going to look that shabby. Yeah, so make it its occasional squeak. Single glides nicely. I don't even have to. So look at it, it's lifting itself back up. This thing performs really well. So look at that. Sony Action Cam is having a nice little ride here. There it is, recording. Getting a lot of noise here, so let me zoom out. There it is on its nice little, then it goes back down and it bounces. This thing turned out really nice. I have to like it. It doesn't look that ghetto. If you think about it, sorry for using the word ghetto. Probably might offend some people. Might not look that poorly made, but you add another clamp there. It'd be nice to have 4 to make it nice and secure. So I got the handle, which is, oh, I don't have it. So I got the handle from where you rest your arm at. It's also adjustable, so if you're having a hard time bouncing, you can set it there or back more. It's depending on the weight of the camera. And if it's that hard to balance, you can do that. Another thing is, on that thing, we're using some type of ribbon, like a hose clamp thing, where we'll lock it in secure. So it's not going anywhere. It's not really going to go anywhere, so don't worry about that. Tripod head wise, the tripod head, I prefer to use a more sturdier one, but this one does a job. But that's how I pretty much made that part right there, connecting the crutches end to end. The tripod is the wire. Yeah, it's the wire from the shotgun mic. Should have clamped it on. There you go. I'm using a Kenlock SV. Let me just get close to it, actually. Use a Kenlock SV. And the crutches I'm using are McKesson. I believe that's spelled right, McKesson. Yeah, McKesson crutches. So that's what I'm using for that. And the camera I have balanced on here is a D80 and a Sony Action Cam that's getting video of me right now. So that's in multi-angle thing. So let's stop the camera angle for this thing right now. And it stopped. So the next thing we have is, let me raise this thing up a bit, it's kind of unbalanced. There you go. The next thing we're going to show you is the name of this thing. Where's that? Should say Kenlock somewhere on the side. I always seem to lose it. Well, it's a 2000 edition. This thing's really old. It was found at a Goodwill, but it's found its way back home to a producer that loves it well. And I do, because this thing is sturdy and I can trust any camera on it. Another thing is the weight back here. It's part of a wood chisel thing right here. See, it's not very blunt. It's not very sharp. It's kind of is, but it's nothing that it can endanger someone. So there's that. And these right here, and if you guys noticed when I was having a hard time balancing it, these will adjust it. So the more you push it out, the heavier it gets. The more you push in, the less heavy it gets. I'll use a smaller weight, like that much, so you can easily move it in and out like nothing. Or actual dumbbell weights. Have them slide in here, and then you can add marks where they're supposed to be at, and then lock them in with these things right here, end to end. And I'll make your camera crane more adjustable for cameras that have weird weights, or the camera crane that just simply doesn't want to balance. Same goes for this side here. This side here also has that option to do different styles of how heavy the camera's be, how high you want to extend it. If you want to extend it any higher, you can. Using crutches that go up to the weight, the height of the height of 5'10". So it goes up to 5'10" here. So that's the crutches that I'm using. So you need some pretty tall ones to get this thing to work. Another few things is you want to add some support weights to the bottom to hold on the tripod. And tape down the legs, especially the joints here. Sometimes the joints will start sliding in by itself, so you might as well just tape around them to keep them locked in, or just get a really good tripod head and tripod. That's pretty much it there. So that's the camera crane all itself. You can run the wires down, and you have to balance all of that out. So that's pretty much it, you guys. And now I'm actually going to give you guys some camera shots of this thing. And you know what, before we wrap things up, I'm going to give you guys a price. These probably like $1-2 each. So let's just say $2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and then 16 for the missing one there. $16. Tripod head was pretty cheap. I'd advise you to use the heavy duty one for, especially if you have a camera up that high. Tape and electrical tape to wrap around the pipe so that could be secured in. That's that right there. Tripod, found a Goodwill for a few bucks, but still get a heavier tripod that'll work best for this thing. And weights are variable for this thing, but best thing is to use better secure weights than the one I have here. Also end caps, so you can easily store it. I'll show you how it gets stored, and now I'm actually going to go through the hassle of balancing it again with my camera and showing you guys some video shots. Alright, one last thing, sorry for it being shaky footage, but I also got the grip here, and I moved it over here where you can use the control side to side with this thing. It won't transfer as much as the vibration. You can also lower and raise it. That's just a side thing. If you need to add more weight to a lightweight camera, that could be a good choice for you. Autofocus is going on here and it's not really doing its job. Let the thing bonk its head on the ceiling, and I'm going to show you this little plate here. Now if I can find that plate, here it is. Now what this plate can do is it gives you a wide variety of adjustments. This came off the Cowboy Studio, and it's a bit of a cheapy rig here. I recommend for lightweight cameras like the Sony Action Cam, if you can't balance the weight right, what you can do is obviously detach the camera and attach it here, and that right there will give you more clearance, more length, and you'll be able to attach your Sony Action Camera or GoPro onto here and balance it and get your shots that you need, instead of you having to extend it all the way out and have to suffer like what I had to suffer earlier with this camera here. But it's a nice option you can add and have that on as well to give it more weight. and that should do the trick for you. So now let me get this camera attached that I'm recording with. Let's give you some nice glide shots.